Yeah, we were just over getting coffee and some snacks, and our friend Mike Muir came up to me and said, "Got to see you guys today." 6:15.
Absolutely. I keep hearing that a lot, even out in the crowd. Everybody's like, you have absolutely got to go check out Flag.
Are the Sueys playing today?
No.
Infectious Groove.
Infectious Grooves.
Oh, Infectious Groove. Oh, okay. I understand.
Venice locals.
Yeah, that's Venice. That's almost South Bay.
It's almost.
It wants to be South Bay.
The airport is a big divider. They call the South Bay Orange County, and then the South Bay people, it's like you have to get past. There's a bunch of junk in the middle, so it's a big divide.
The importance of the South Bay is that's where we're from.
Right.
It's an artistic mecca of epic proportion that created many beautiful and wonderful music groups.
Yeah, but where the Suicidals are from, they have this great Tommy's knockoff burger place. It's called Tomas. Really? Tomas Burger. Oh, the chili burgers are the best there.
Yeah, I need that stuff.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, when you come out to these festivals, like ever like a big class reunion for you guys? I mean, you obviously see so many older bands and newer bands coming together.
It depends upon who's playing. Earlier we got to hear the Bronx because we pulled up as they were playing, and I've known the Bronx since the very beginning of their band. Then, like I said, saw Mike Muir over at the food stall. Later on, we'll see some of the Chili Peppers.
Are they playing?
Yeah.
They're playing tonight.
Look at the little booklet. I'm going to look at the booklet.
You got to check your schedule.
Yeah, I'm stoked on that. I haven't seen
Pause the camera. I'm going to look at the booklet. No.
I got a book in
Well, I don't
my
want to
pocket.
keep going. They're playing? Yeah.
So, for you guys, how does it feel to be looked at as pioneers and such an influence? I mean, how do you feel about the current state of things right now?
When we were heading west in the covered wagons, burning, looting, killing, maiming, just ruining things.
Sickling our way through the forest. But you know the truth of it is that the music, this music that we love, and it's all really just part of a continuing river. And we've had our influences, things that came and influenced us and affected how we play and sing and write songs. And then hopefully, maybe we've left some influences on some of the younger bands. But it's really more of a continuum, like a river. So for us to claim to be pioneers, it would be, I think, kind of pompous. We're just part of a constantly growing thing.
It's always evolving, I think, and even the way that we share music and people are learning about music. How are you guys adapting to like social media and all that kind of stuff?
Well, Devo's not evolving; they're devolving.
Well, if that show we saw them the other night, they kicked so much ass, it was just criminal. They should have been put in jail for how great they were. It was so amazing. Yeah, they were doing well. Wait, why are we talking about Devo?
Well, we were talking about the evolution of music.
Oh, right.
And they're not a part of it because they're de-evolving or devolving.
River. I liked your analogy because ultimately, you go all the way back and Bach and whatever, and before that, and all the folk musics. It keeps going, and and it's a joy and to be part of it and to have done stuff that people recognize, and when you started out, it's like you pick up your guitar or whatever and start playing, and then you jump in and try to make it happen, and it's cool that it did, that things happened, and that we're here at the Orion.
So for each one of you,
As opposed to the O'Reilly Festival.
yeah, that would be an interesting one. I don't know. So for each one of you personally, do you have that pivotal music moment that occurred at a point in your life that made you decide that you had to pursue it for a career?
That pivotal moment never actually happened for me. I've always been a part of this blind leading the blind, letting it go wherever it's going to go. Now we can get to the evolution of the music. When we first started playing music, we didn't really know what we were doing. We were just doing it. That's what came out of us. That's what we're about. This is what we do. And here we are, 35 years later?
Yeah, I think that what Keith said about the blind leading the blind. Maybe it's like none of us ever had any kind of a. I don't think any of us had an epiphany or a moment where we were like, oh, I'm born for the stage or some shit like this. We just we all are music lovers, and we took to it as listeners, and then we took to it as players. But yeah, we never had any kind of a grand strategy or a plan or really much even much forethought. I feel like the forethought and the strategy is almost counterproductive to the music. But to just let it go where it will, like what Keith said, let it go wherever it seems to take us. And that's even what we're doing right now. We don't know if we're going to be doing shows next week, next month, next year, or whenever. It's just let's see what happens.
Well, we do know that we're going to be playing a few shows further down the road, but after those shows, anything goes.
You have to pour yourself. I think for people, you have to pour yourself into something that is you're made to do, and it's a big trick to figure out what that is. And then you do, and then the more you pour yourself into it, the better it goes for you and everybody else. And so I think, for me, I gradually nudged up on that, and then one day I realized what I was nudging up on. And then there was a juncture where I said, science, no; art, yes; music, yes. And then to work as hard as possible at it, in all the aspects of it, at the playing, at the getting across with it, at the playing show. And then but it's joy. It's not work.
As long as you're enjoying it, I think the second that it stops being fun, that's just
I wouldn't do it.
Right.
I wouldn't have started in the first place, and I wouldn't have continued it in the long run. I play every single day for hours and hours, whatever, even without a band.
What else would you do that you would consider fun? Like be the guy that controls the Ferris wheel at the Santa Monica Pier?
Hang out with my kids.
So, for you guys, do you prefer these big festival environments over the smaller, more intimate club shows?
One thing I haven't seemed to have changed my stance on in a million years is that I like to watch bands in a club that holds about 400 people, and I like to play in a club that holds about 400 people. All my best memories of whether it was the Minutemen or the Germs or X or whatever, it was in clubs that held between 300 and 600 people, and that to me is very comfortable. But these festivals are fun in a whole different way. There's a whole nother side of this that's fun. I like being in the fresh air when I play. I'm very sensitive to smoke and those kinds of things. Sometimes it ends up in the club stuffy, so I like being in the fresh air and playing in the fresh air. But I like the intimate setting the best. I always have.
Sure, the energy feel is different too.
Yeah, you get it. They get some on them. I mean, they get it on them, and we get them on us too. The sweat and everything, it's just,
Get off me.
yeah.
Well, I want to thank you guys for taking a few minutes to speak with me. Hopefully we will see you in Philadelphia. You obviously have some more tour dates coming up.
We got the little run of them on the East Coast in early September.
And we will be playing at the Trocadero.
Awesome.
Yeah. Is Trocadero by Chinatown or by Jim
Yes, it
Steaks?
is.
Or by Jim Steaks?
Chinatown.
No,
the
it's in
TLA is by
Chinatown.
Jim Steaks.
TLA is
Okay, so by
downtown.
Chinatown. I know where I'm going. I know my restaurant. I know my Troc restaurant.
That's awesome. Well, we'll definitely keep everybody up to date. Thank you so much for talking to me. Enjoy the rest of Orion.
Are you eating Chinese food when you're in Chinatown
Yeah.
in Philadelphia? Okay.
Yeah, I'll get a steak too, though. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
you can't miss that.
Yeah.
I met a girlfriend who's from New Jersey but spends more time in Philadelphia.
Most people from Jersey
The
do.
Chinese restaurants across the street from the Trocadero.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know the one.
Cool. Well, most people from Jersey end up spending more time in Philly anyway.
What are you trying to say? If Dezo were here, he would slap you down. Well, he wouldn't. He's nice, gentle. But
Great. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.